Thank you. देखिए प्लीज मेरी आने से ठीक बाकी किसी right the older students and the एक ही काम करना चाहिए. Take 3-4 photographs. Thank you. गुलाब का फूल आगे होना चाहिए. Take 3-4 में थोड़ा आगे से ये से select this one. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Ashok Bhaiya.
Okay, because I was supposed to get here, but I couldn't stop.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Maybe not at all. It's from time to.
You met him?
Yes, I was.
That's
We met somewhere. I think you've seen it before. Years ago.
It's like all of us are like
Salil bhai.
Tell
Can
me.
you just ek bar before the session starts, can you slowly move the entire room so that I can just have the recording can have a look of people who have already come.
I think after message आपका
नहीं मैसेज आया था उनका सबक्षी
अच्छा
मैसेज तो वही साक्षी
Yeah, you can.
We should begin, huh?
Yeah. We are already late by 5-7 minutes.
we are in double digits.
Please ask.
We've just had talk. That's what we can do. At a beach, we okay.
Is the office fine?
Oh, is it happened? Acha.
Ashok Bhaiya's welcome address.
Yeah.
Next.
Same place.
That's your life. Drinking secret. Driving. License expires.
So anything is before Salil, next one plastic using.
Yeah. Very good solution.
Just
Makes sense.
Click or.
Correct.
Why you
Plastic.
Because one of the things we are doing is that, I think that's.
True.
So you can leave it there, so you can go against they is stop, so they will find a beautiful land. No, second thing is, they go discuss in the location, the town made plan. I understand. Actually, my wife sometimes also like certificate. Very functional. Getting back, that's true. Some लोग आगे provided the color. First time it happened, मतलब ये लोग आगे बढ़ते those days the quality was quite
It still is, although it's disappearing very fast.
very
Yeah.
they come from popular gallery areas.
आजकल क्या ISD has always been India, you know.
Right.
Is that one of the things you really admire? People know the kind of thing.
You want the streets ones?
No, never posted. Never posted.
I mean, somebody already picture. I'm not saying.
No.
Hey, you want somebody?
That's right. Hi. Hi, Michelle.
Sorry.
The original every chapter somebody does one.
So me.
Which is the
I showed you.
very not anyway.
That.
I was one of the very most students.
Hello.
Yes, that is her. That is Mr. Hello. Revenue and private sector.
Hello. Hello. Hi.
Sangeeta, you know.
No, I just heard.
50. That is Sanjay Bahadur's sister, Ambassador Sangeeta Bahadur's.
Okay, nice meeting you.
I've heard of you, but
You might have been she, maybe she.
yes,
Because-
no, and also Rajiv ji mentioned.
Because,
that.
He left also to Deloitte.
Huh?
Oh. It's really pleasure meeting all.
No, they are very involved. They are very involved. All retired.
नहीं
Non-empowerment.
So how does this work? Like you put this in front of whoever is sitting and then.
Yeah, have to move it around. It's actually.
People who are participating, they are actively, otherwise it goes over.
Okay.
Hello, Rajiv ji, can you hear me? Is it all right? This position?
Yeah, it is. This is the best that you can do. You please
We
carry on.
want to see you.
Yeah, please.
Hello, since everybody is settled now, and so we can
Yeah,
start.
uncle is still occupied.
I'll keep this thing on the speaker. Yeah, done.
Yeah.
If you increase खाली
Will you join with us here?
Huh? It's okay. It doesn't make sense. Huh? Yeah. No problem. It's such a honor to have you here. Welcome to the family. So those days when we used to first exposure video call, I was understanding you in Europe and Commerce.
I was in Bombay.
No, those days our teacher used to come to Mumbai.
Yes. Correct.
Typically.
Yeah, one of the manufacturers.
No, our people were
So, ladies and gentlemen, with your permission, we can start the reading. My name is Ashok Bakshi. I am also with the XENA family, one of the members. Like you, joined a couple of months back, and I hail from Kanpur, did my graduation there. Came to JNU, did another graduation here in languages, German language. Then joined a German company and got posted in Germany, Switzerland in their offices. Last posting was in US. And after that, came back, retired. And after retiring, I'm doing consultancy in tourism and insurance. And now I'm with you. And thank you for taking out time for joining us. And let me read out the welcome address to you, to the XENA family. Thank you, each and every one of you, for being here with us today. We are very pleased to be able to welcome those of you that have been with us for a long time, and as well as those who are new to the XENA world. I am honored, having been entrusted with the responsibility of delivering today's welcome address. It's a true reflection of the objective of the XENA family, where every member is given opportunity. I'm here in front of you only because the family has faith in me. I thank the organizer for giving me this opportunity. It's a glad welcome we bring to you this afternoon, filled with our desire, hopes, dream to share of. I hope you all enjoy the exciting speaker today, and thanking in abundance for attending it. Thank you. And before I hand over the baton to Mr. Naveen Jaggi, let's begin with the end in mind. We have planned 30 lunch in the restaurant, and there's a program flow chart in the folder. There's a welcome cards for all of you, and a welcome flower. And it's a custom of the XENA family, and at the end also, the customary to hand over the thank you card and the yellow card. So for that also we'll have again one quick photo at the end. So please, Mr. Naveen Jaggi. Thank you.
It is providence that the poorest student or the best school of the country, instead of standing there, just happens to sit here on the seat in the accompaniment of the most august gathering, ambassadors, administrative officers, revenue officers, engineers, doctors, social activists, minority commission. The most incompetent and who have no reason to be here. And like they say, empty vessels make more sound. Adkal jagri, adkal jagri, chalkar jaye. For a chance to be here. So if I commit any faux pas, I seek your forgiveness. This concept of XENA family, conceptualized, conceived, implemented by a gentleman whom not many of us have met. These are not met. But having had a verbal discourse with him telephonically, video calls, one gets to know, one gets to understand that this Mr. Rajiv Anand is blessed to be able to create something out of air. A unique concept which is now working very well, which may not have worked if Mr. Pradeep Agarwal had not given us his address when we were to be registered. It may not have worked if Uncle and Mr. Bakshi had not spent their time. It may not have worked if Ms. Nisha Samuel had not attended every meeting. It may not have worked if all of you may not have been here. To have such eminent gentlemen of eminence as His Excellency Ambassador Brenda Mr. Katwa, Ms. Sangeeta Bahadur, Mr. S.P. Singh, Mr. Ganesh, Mr. Salim Sahu, Mr. Mosadi, Mr. Chirendra Sharma. This may not have been possible. You all wish to know how come somebody who has not contributed anything to society, not done anything in life, happens to be sitting here and giving us a sermon without having done anything like compared to your absolutely tremendous, stupendous achievements. Probably, Sir Rajiv Anand felt that there's one spare wheel. He could be a part of it. On merits, I don't have to be here. All of you have to be here, have to be there. But see, while seeking your forgiveness, I have an earnest appeal. Something created by Mr. Rajiv Anand must see the end of the day. Nisha, have you seen Charlie's Angels, the movie and the serial?
Yeah.
So all seen that. Mr. Rajiv Anand is not Charlie. He never appears. And yet he knows which one of us is suffering where, which one of us got which problem. He has the minutest record of Mr. His Excellency Ambassador Katwa's achievements, not achievements, not achievements. He knows exactly what the team is trying to correct. In the aftermath of the pandemic COVID-19, when the exigencies created cataclysmic and catastrophic situations, he still survived, world still survived. We did have meetings, not virtual, also offline, all a creation of Mr. Rajiv Anand. Now that we are gathered here, let us take this forward. The dream of a man sitting in a God-forsaken backward backyard of India, Pune, and he's able to collect the galaxy of intelligentsia, the intellectual giants. He deserves a big pat on the back. Today I can't get I have seen it. Please put it on the. Today I have three beautiful ladies at home. I cannot get them together. One wants to go this way, one. For him to get for him to be able to manage such a brilliant gathering is nothing short of a tribute, worthy of an oath. Let us take this forward. Let us take this forward. There is so much we can do. And especially with your experience and your achievements, I'm sure XENA World will one day take a stamp of bringing happiness not only for ourselves, but for the entire world, global community. Thank you very much. And Ms. Sangeeta Bhagan, please remember, I charge money for speaking. But I'm sure Rajivan will never pay me for this, right? So this was a free advice. In court, I have charged him. Thank you very much for giving us.
The next speaker is
Salil Bhai, can you shift the laptop towards Amrinder Dada, please, because he is the next speaker.
See, what initiative Latif has taken, creating this family, is very praiseworthy. Now, this meeting, we are going to talk 2-3 things. We have called some of our eminent retired bureaucrats. This family is created to contribute to social causes, empowerment, and other things. It has chapters all over, even international chapters. What we are going to decide that we have to talk to Mr. Jackie and all others. What are the projects they are planning to take in the sector of empowerment, in the sector of helping society, intellectual activities, any other thing? That is a very important thing. That each meeting, what we talk about our being together. That's not enough. That's not enough. Now time has come. We have to tell, so for example, some projects you are taking. One page, what projects you have taken, what we are doing, we can circulate. The new people who are coming, then they get inspired. That is one. 2, 2016, the family started. This is 2022. COVID has eaten up 3 years. Despite that, to stay alive, stay connected, most of them are established in their field. They are giving their time, they are giving bit of their resources and efforts to help me. Keeping that in mind, I will request the bureaucrat friends who are here to ask questions. Where they need it, what you can do, where you can contribute, etc. That's very important. Then there are lots of NGOs. This is more than NGO. There are lots of independent private sector working bodies. This is much bigger than that. This is because of our love to do something, love to be together, love to change our, interchange our intellectual ideas and come to certain conclusions that in social sector, in empowerment sector, in women empowerment, upliftment, etc., what the family can do. If I'm correct, I have next time when you present your speech, these things must be out.
We should, if you allow, before we are over, I think we should be at least have a blueprint, some sort of a blueprint. Today only.
Why I'm saying that is that each of them have like 30-40 years of experience. They may not do anything wrong, but if our project is right, they can empower us. They can propel the project, and then you can involve them. See, alone 3-4 of you doing everything together, you have additional support. And I think with this we should start. And also next time when we get together, everybody must introduce themselves. That is notwithstanding how many times.
Sir, this is my fault. I had asked Mr. Ivana that may I said you have just 10 minutes. And he knows that once I start speaking, I am very bad manner.
That is because Rajiv used his judicial.
So he asked me to refrain. I would have.
Because what happens is that intermittently we read. Therefore, we forget. Like What,
Like, for example, she carries a very, very distinguished background, Mr. SPC.
Yes. And if all of us know, we can keep that in mind and try to develop also some kind of agenda on that or some kind of support base on that. Thank you. I stop here and I think this is the second meeting I'm attending and I believe that once the blueprint comes, all of us will contribute something substantially. From my side, I always, after retirement, I only work in empowerment. I'm involved with the hundreds of NGOs where whatever I can do, I'm at your disposal. Thank you.
Mr. Khalil Saud, sir,
Good afternoon, everyone.
NIT, IIM, Kanpur, Calcutta.
Yeah. So,
Salil bhai, you have to move the,
Sorry,
you have to
yeah,
face,
sorry.
you have to face the.
good afternoon, everyone. It's my great privilege to be talking to this distinguished set of people. My background, going from what Mr. Khatwa said, is that I spent time in what is called FMCG, fast-moving consumer goods, and the retail industries in India. And when I ended up as a CEO in a retail company, and then when I was passionate about health and well-being and fitness, so I started a health and well-being and fitness company. It's an app-based company. So that's what I'm doing currently. And besides that, I sort of authored a book on leadership, and then I just started a podcast on health and well-being also recently, about a month back. So that's briefly who I am. So it's a remarkable
Academic,
story.
Salil bhai, academic, then that also will
Okay, sorry.
give an
Yeah.
idea.
So I am a mechanical engineer from NIT Rourkela, and then I studied in IIM Cal. So this is a remarkable story. Before coming here, I was telling Rajiv bhai that I know this Sanskrit PhD who was penned this something called Rajiv Bandhana. So he has said that this time you don't do it, next time you can recite it. So it's a remarkable, unique thing that he has managed to do virtually, and he's connected, I think, hundreds of people. So XENA world, XENA world, like we know, it is more whatever I'm going to say. A lot of people who have been here before, they know about it, but I think it'll help the people who are new to this, and you also. So yeah. So it's a platform that brings together people who want to bring about a change in society. It's a group of experts and who want to really who have reached a particular station in life and they want to do something for the society. So the three key principles. So it intends to empower, especially the weaker sections. So the rural society, the children, the artists, the artisans who really don't get that kind of support. So that's one. Second is when you work together, it enhances the total strength of the entity. And it's also intense because it's very voluntary and because it's dependent on people who are actually deciding to do it out of passion. It has to be a win-win for the person who is sort of spending time and contributing, and also for the person, of course, who is receiving the benefit. So I'll just take you through the journey of XENA the last 5-6 years. So 2016, a small group of people that discovered that virtual connectivity can be a very economical and effective method to reach out. Otherwise, it's difficult to form a group like this across the country and actually outside the country also. So that was validated in 2016. And the other thing which this group of people led by Rajiv bhai, they realized that if you combine this power of virtual connectivity with elements that build trust or elements that foster transparency and confidence with other confidence building measures, then the group can actually work effectively. So 2016 was about that. So to test this, some people had come together in 16. 2017, there was a women empowerment conclave in Purnia. It was not done in a city. It was so Purnia also had its own challenges of getting people there, getting participants, getting speakers, getting the support of other people. But it was extremely successful. So that gave a fillip to this initial set of people to take it forward. So that was 17. And then there is one thought which is very clear in 2000 by the end of 17. You need to get people with the right credentials and also with human values who are sort of good and human beings who want to do something. So 2018, and the way to reach out to people was through virtual networks. So 2018, the Facebook groups were formed, and so people started connecting. And by the end of 18, there are a large number of people. Once you had a large set of people, 19 they started creating chapters. So before that, 2 meetings were held every month, and decisions so the chapters were created in Chennai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, Ahmedabad, Pune, Bhubaneswar, and Mumbai. So these chapters were formed in 18, and 2 meetings were held every month. And there was also a decision, because there are people meeting in the virtual meetings and few physical meetings. There are decisions taken to constitute legal entities to take it forward. So how do you you have a network of people, you have a set of people. How do you take it forward? You do it legal entities. And the important thing which was discovered, which people discovered, that people generally bonded very well. When you bring people like this to a virtual mode also, they bonded very well. So 2000, so that was 19, and then 2020, there was an annual general meeting which was held in Chhatarpur in January, and that it had 34 people. So there are few things which are understood. One was there are people with a lot of diverse talents and skills, number one. And then the question was, how can you leverage this network, and how can it be brought under one umbrella? The question, you have a group of people, how do you bring it under one umbrella? And how can also the individual, the individual who is participating in this venture benefit from it? How can you address his needs also? These are her needs. So February, there was some brainstorming, and then so it was decided to create verticals for work. So there are 9 verticals which are created. So the 9 verticals are 5 are non-profit and 4 are for profit. So I'll take you through the 9 verticals. The first one is called XENA International Foundation. It's a non-profit organization under Section 8 of the Companies Act. So the objective of this gives strategic advisory to pain points of the society. It's like a strategic sees it from a very, very macro point of view. The next vertical was XENA Soul Connect Foundation. So this the objective of this foundation, this is again this is a public trust which works to foster interest in art, theater, culture, drama, music. So essentially around passions and hobbies and about the softer aspects of life. And the next one was XENA World Care Foundation, which is to look after the dependent children and senior citizens of the XENA family. So that was another public trust. And the next one is XENA Global Family Foundation. So this is intended to, again, foster academic collaboration and help students. This is a public trust. And then there is XENA Outreach Foundation, which connects and aggregates NGOs. There are various NGOs, and then a lot of NGOs, they have their own limitations. So this connects, and so that you have an aggregated set of NGOs who can actually be more effective. So these are the non-profit organizations. The profit organizations were XENA Connect LLP, which intends to generate profits through domestic business from its using the skills and resources of its own members. Similarly, XENA Global Family LLP does that through international markets, in international markets. Then you have XENA World OPC Private Limited. So this is XENA family members of XENA who are not part of these entities, legal entities, but they want to do something, so this can support them. And then there is the last one is XENA World, which is a platform for selling and buying, but international. And having done that, so the last after this 9, then everyone realized there's nothing for children. So the 10th legal entity was XENA Next. XENA Next Foundation.
All of them are registered, proper legal.
But what is the status of this Indiana?
So they're all, yeah, XENA works, correct. So there, I'll just come to that. So 2020, these were formed, and online registration began in 20. And so 21, the registration of the verticals was completed. All the verticals have been, the registration is there. And then there was an understanding, there were a lot of discussions around it. What are the needs for these foundations? What are the things they can do? And one thing was decided that each legal entity have its own vision, mission, and objective.
Company or trust?
XENA World. The first one is a trust.
And the other. Second.
Yeah, so I'll share with you the details. So, for example, this. Yeah, XENA International Foundation is an NPO. This Soul Connect is a trust. World Care is a trust. Connect LLP is an LLP.
सलील भाई, who कौन से भैया पूछ रहे हैं? You just let me know.
Mr. Singh and Mr. Verma.
हाँ ठीक है, तो दोनों को I'll send them manifestations. Don't worry.
Fine. Yeah. So to 21 again. So this registration was completed, and then legal entities, of course, the detailing was done, and there are many rounds of virtual meetings between people to sort of fine-tune the approach. And one of the ways it was done is for each non-profit entity, one Sunday was devoted, and it happened in rounds. And so these meetings did two things. One, they helped us in fine-tuning what these entities can do. The second thing is this also helped other people meet each other, see each other, both virtually and later physically. So there are 55 meetings, and each meeting had about 9 members in 21. And then we come to 22. 22, of course, this was also while happening because when the COVID was sort of rampant. And 22, there have been 112 meetings so far. And then there have been physical get-togethers like this. So that's where we are. So I think that's the journey in a sort of short summary.
What's your favorite doubts?
Yeah.
In fact, Virendra, I mean, once one goes through
Yeah.
and then interact,
You-
then obviously,
Yeah.
I mean, the questions or
Yeah.
the urge to know more will arise. So, Rajiv, I'm SP here.
I can never miss your voice in my lifetime. Very kind of him. Yeah, Salil bhai, you can shift to the next speaker. I don't know, your laptop has hung. You have to log out. You have to log out and log in. If you can hear me. Hello. Salil bhai, your oh gosh.
It's just coming up.
I just hope this does not go into the second recording. So now we move as per the program flow to the next
Welcome,
speaker.
Mr.
I can see Sangeeta Bana getting very excited.
Yeah, I'm excited because it's my first time. So,
Yeah, Salil bhai, you can push the laptop towards her,
Yeah,
closer
I
to
think
her.
it's turned towards her.
If it is wireless, then move closer to her.
no, it's not wireless.
So I put the wire because there's probably some power.
So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world at this point of time. I'm Sangeeta Bahadur, Ambassador Sangeeta Bahadur, just recently retired from the Indian Foreign Service about 4 months ago. And my last posting was as High Commissioner to Malta. Before that, I've done several other postings, served in various capacities in headquarters, and have just, in fact, returned to India in July. And I have been aware of the XENA family and the kind of work that it is doing. And the presentation just before me by Mr. Sahu was very enlightening because although I've been aware of it, this is my first time actually attending, one of the physical events that have been organized today. So Rajiv, Bhaiya, you asked me to do a presentation on what we have, what the XENA family has achieved over the last 1 year, and I totally panicked because, as I said, I'm very new to this and I have no idea really what has been happening. But then you were kind enough to brief me, and I found out some things on my own from your YouTube channel and things like that. So it seems that as Mr. Sahu was saying, after the registration process for this XENA world was completed in May 2021. That was the time when India was going through the Delta wave. So obviously physical meetings and get-togethers were literally impossible. So the idea was not to let this whole movement die during the pandemic. So it was decided that rather than having physical meetings, we would shift towards virtual meetings, online meetings. And various events started to be organized between May 2021 and January this year. I believe something like 57 Sunday events were organized every Sunday. One of the foundations, which is under the XENA World umbrella, came together to project the vision, to discuss possibilities, to figure out what could be done in that area. And in each such online meeting, around 10 people participated in various capacities. 1 or 2 were speakers, the others were there as moderators, as those performing introductions, etc. So every meeting, every event would have around 10 people. So that itself, with 57 events, comes to about 570 people who have already participated in these Sunday events. Apart from this, I think what we did was a more personal kind of a thing. It was like about 115 such meetings have been held where individual family members of XENA have been invited to speak about what their interest is, what their passion is, and what they have achieved, what they want to achieve. So it's a kind of a personalized introduction of everybody who is a part of this XENA family. So as I said, about 115 such meetings have been held. And Rajiv Bhaiya, please correct me if I'm wrong anywhere. I just quickly went through whatever facts and figures were available, and this is what I remember. So as such, even this period of the pandemic seems to have been extremely productive, with a lot of people coming together to share experiences, visions, views, and possibilities. And also it has provided an opportunity for all the members to bond together, because what do you bond, what are the factors of a bonding exercise? So one is your professional background. Many of us share, similar backgrounds. Of course, today is the first time when I think a lot of senior bureaucrats who have retired from service have joined, but there are so many others who are into business, who are into professions, etc. So that is one factor. Then your vision, what you want to achieve, do with your life, with whatever resources, whatever talents you've been given, that's another. And the third, of course, is the hobbies and special interests that you share, that you might share. Because, for example, I just discovered that Mr. S.P. Singh, who everybody knows as a very well-respected senior bureaucrat, is also a professional photographer who's actually got a web page and all that up. So when you share such details about yourself, I mean, me, apart from being an ambassador, I'm also an author with 4 big books behind me, another one coming up next year. So, and Mr. Khatwa, of course, Ambassador Khatwa, he's a remarkable personality in his own right, as many of you would know. He's a poet, he's an author. So these are the kind of interests that some of you would be probably interested in, dance or music or art or whatever. So these are the kind of things that bring us together. And these 115 meetings in which, individual members have introduced themselves and spoken about their passion, whatever they've achieved, that has served the purpose of, strengthening this bond. And we hope that this will continue to happen so that more and more of us can come together, not just as a part of, the kind of work that the XENA World family does, which is, altruism, basically a lot of things that we do for society, but also to encourage our own passions and to find others who resonate with us and who can actually work together with us to give a direction, a sense of direction, and to give us the kind of network that will support our own interests and hobbies as well. So in that sense, XENA does a double-edged work, so to say. It works for society, and it also works for its members on a very individual, very personal level. And that is a remarkable achievement. So that is all I wanted to say. Thank you very much.
So good, worded, so well explained, so humble in all your achievements.
Thank you, sir.
So all the evidence. Thank you very much for being here. Mr. Vishnu Paul.
We'll have to turn
You
the
have
camera.
a few minutes to give us thoughts on your business ideas.
Let me background of myself, where I'm an engineer.
Hey, Nani, 1 second. Salim bhai, can you unplug the wire and put the laptop on their table?
Yeah,
Because now you have got speakers on that table. It might take just 1 minute.
You're the engineer, so you can tell. Is it correct?
Oh, no. Apart from being an engineer, practically out of 8 hours, 6 hours, he's on laptop.
Wow. Please. Is it okay now?
Yeah, he can pull it closer to him. That's about it. Thank you.
Actually, I currently work as a director in Prometric. Today, I've taken a half day off just to be in this meeting on the request of Rajiva. So, I mean, I think it's great that we have all the legal entities, and there are a number of experiments have been tried out in various chapters. I think it's time that we go in a full-fledged activities. Yeah, and proceed with what the vision and missions are. That's what I thought. I mean, firstly, I mean, as I've been telling from quite some time, like in order to run any of the units, you need some money. So probably we should have some way of collecting the nominal fees for each member, and would help us to manage the basic things which is required. And that's one of the vehicle we should be thinking of. Second is each of the legal entities which are there. I mean, at a high level, they have the plans. They are aware of what they want to do. Probably come up with 1 or 2 activities where you could focus upon, and then have the structure. We have people of various calibers. We also need the working people. I mean, people who could contribute time, the youngsters. The vision and mission is there. The strategists are there, but for execution, I think at the end of the day, we need people on the ground who could complement it and help us to reach out the desired activities. So probably, I mean, each of the business units, as we call it, for each of the legal entity, they should have the organized structure, ask for the resources, what they need, and they should have a clear-cut plan. Any project should have a start date and end date. That helps us to monitor whether we are progressing in the right direction and take the necessary feedback and then do the necessary correction to reach our goal or objective. So I think these are the few things we need to, I mean, I think the next couple of sessions are intended to speak on specific areas. And by the time we leave this meeting, we should at least say that which are the things we should be adopting and implementing it. And there should be a regular monthly meetings of each of the legal units to find out what they're doing. I mean, like everything should be like a project plan. Draw all the activities, then only you know where you have a problem and where you want the thing, and then associate a resource to it. I think these are the key things now for the vehicle to move and take a leap into the activities.
Thank you very much. We have two very distinguished people. All their lives they've been taking from us for the government. All time they give us something back. We take their advice, their distinguished advice.
Sure. Thank you.
Very well. Details for everyone and to the minute details of your team. Even though we're meeting for the first time, your achievements, achieve the introduction. Very good. Very good. Very good.
Vishnu bhai, now you can shift the laptop towards the next speaker, please.
Industrialist.
No,
We owe when we were having problems finding an address, we register our entities.
thank you very much.
Lo and behold, comes Mr. Pradeep Agarwal, like a light in the shining armor, and said, "Here,
Thank you.
take my address." And he was willing. It's not easy when property papers are also important. So, lead our world owes
Yeah, I am with
gratitude to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Agarwal.
Myself, Pradeep Agarwal, I am in business last from 40 years. And I know Rajiv ji last from 28 years. When he was a businessman and he is running his own office automation business in Gurgaon. We met with each other as a thrust sector. He asked me, what want you to do in your life? I request him, I want to go in a thermocol business. He says, how you want to do? He give me the ideas and mind and support each and every steps. Then again, he asked me again, now what you want to do? I say, I want to do TV business in MP as a thrust sector. He find out and he settled the plant there. The first time in India as a tax saver, we are there. We are getting GST exempted plant only in India, in MP. We are Infotech, first time. 140 crores turnover is there at that time. Then he again asked me, now what do you want to do? I say, I want to increase my switchgear business. Then he says, Pratibhai, why not you start
you have so much ideas, so much business here. Why not you make a family in all over India to make dealer distributor as a manufacturers? How it can be start? He says you will get the double benefits and they will also get the confidence in you. Then you make again a family from all over India, even from Dubai, even from some other states also. उनकी जो थ्रस्ट थी कि हम लोग माल लेते हैं बेचते हैं, हम खुद क्यों नहीं बना सकते? राजीव के पास एक सबसे बड़ी क्वालिटी मैं ये जानता हूँ, एक तो मेमोरी बहुत जबरदस्त, दिमाग के अंदर कोई चीज भूलते नहीं है, याद रखते हैं पुरानी से पुरानी। आप सबकी, मेरी भी सबकी जन्मपत्री एक तरीके से उनके दिमाग में ऐसे सेट है कि एंड टाइम पे वो बोल सकते हैं उसके बारे में जो हम लोग अपने बारे में भी भूल जाते हैं बोलना। तो ये जो क्वालिटी है उनकी, ये गॉड गिफ्टेड है, नॉर्मलाइज नहीं है, एक अबाव दिस चैनल है। अगर हमारा दिमाग 6 to 7% काम कर रहा है तो राजीव भाई का 12 to 15% के बीच में काम कर रहे हैं। तो ये पॉजिटिविटी से मैं उनके साथ जुड़ा हुआ हूँ जब से। और मैंने नोएडा, ग्वालियर, मालनपुर, मोहाली, दिल्ली कई जगहों के साथ ये बिजनेस स्टार्ट किया है। आई नो मिस्टर गॉड लास्ट फ्रॉम 30 years as a Videocon association. We are the OEM manufacturer for televisions for video. And we have picture tube plant also in India in the name of Hotline. Hotline is Mama's company, which is associated with us. Yeah, he's my younger mama. So we are in lot of business opportunities also. So we success in all business. As I today met to Mr. God after 20 years, बाद हम मिल रहे हैं. He asked me, where are you right now? I am going to in this meeting. So could not meet. So I asked Mr. God to come here. I meet you here. I am here to make a contact into contract. I can do these things which जो कि मैंने राजीव जी से भी indirectly सीखी है कि किसका बेनिफिट कैसे हो सकता है, सोसाइटी को बेनिफिट कैसे दिया जा सकता है, बिजनेस में कैसे प्रॉफिट किया जा सकता है। क्योंकि बहुत लोगों के पास बहुत सारी चीजें हैं हमारे पास जो हम एक दूसरे के लिए, जो काम पैसा नहीं कर सकता वो काम आप लोग कर सकते हैं, आप लोग जो काम कर सकते हैं पैसा नहीं कर सकता। तो ये जो गैप है अगर हम इसको कहीं भर पाते हैं, कहीं किसी तरह इंट्रोड्यूस कर पाते हैं ठीक से, तो बहुत जल्दी रिजल्ट आ सकते हैं और अचीव कर सकते हैं। उसके लिए राजीव भाई के साथ मैं इसमें जुड़ा हूँ कि अगर मैं सोसाइटी को कोई बेनिफिट करा सकूं, मॉनेटरी वाइज, बिजनेस वाइज, आइडियाज वाइज। सोसाइटी में देखिए इंडिया वेलफेयर सोसाइटी वी आर रनिंग इन इंडिया एज ए एनजीओ, जिसमें 100 चिल्ड्रंस वी आर गिविंग द फीस। वी स्पॉन्सर्ड 100 चिल्ड्रंस फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स which they are very poor, yeah, they cannot buy the books. We provide them all these things. We give them functions every year, 2 to 3, उनको इनाम देने, उनको ऑनर करना, उनकी स्टडीज को आगे फर्दर ले जाना, बाहर पढ़ाने के लिए फीस देना, ये सब काम हम कर रहे हैं। बट इससे भी ज्यादा जो काम है और वो है कि हम अपने बच्चों में या और लोगों में कैसे उनको ऑनेस्टी लेवल पे ले पाएं कि वो जो सोचते हैं कि नहीं ये शॉर्टकट से काम हो सकता है, उसके बनस्पत वो प्रैक्टिकली उस लाइन पर आए और उस काम को करें। आजकल के बच्चों के पास मोबाइल है, टच पे। माय सन्स आर स्टडीइंग इन अब्रॉड। मैं अभी विजिट करके आया कनाडा में। व्हाट ही इज डूइंग, ही इज आस्किंग मी ओनली फॉर डैड मेरा क्रेडिट कार्ड का बिल इतना पेंडिंग है and I am paying. Last night I asked him, where you are doing the expenses this much money? My friend has come, yes, she is here, she is there. तो उनको वैल्यू ऑफ मनी अभी तक नहीं पता है। 18 इयर्स की एज में वो कनाडा पढ़ने चले गए हैं और ये सब चीजें हो रही हैं। और हमारे पास क्रेडिट का डेबिट कार्ड में ठीक से चलाने नहीं आते अभी भी। समटाइम ये थिंग्स कि अरे टच कार्ड है या स्वाइप कार्ड है या इंसर्ट कार्ड है, बट उनके पास मोबाइल में इतनी एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी है, ही टच एवरी टाइम। Whenever I fail my card, he says, okay, then pay it, don't worry. तो इतनी फास्ट टेक्नोलॉजी पे जा चुके हैं। तो ये जो वैल्यू ऑफ चीजें हैं, मैं समझता हूँ कि हमें बच्चों को ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे यहीं पर ही घर से ही देनी स्टार्ट करनी चाहिए कि कैसे इसको मिसयूज होने से हम बचा दें। ये नहीं कि हर चीज पैसे ही हो सकता है।
go much more rich than they actually deserve. So,
Very poor
not much to add. The only thing I'd add that last 36 years, I've been in corporate career largely, and both in multinationals and
सलील भाई लैपटॉप भरत दादा के सामने रख दीजिए प्लीज.
नहीं वहाँ पे
पावर का इशू है. पावर is gone.
नहीं
So
तो
I-
प्रदीप भाई के बगल में पावर पॉइंट है.
है नहीं
That's it.
नहीं है.
Hats off to you. Hats off to you.
only present at
Hear me.
I'm sure it's got bugs.
yeah. वहाँ से हमें पता चला कि हमें कहाँ PowerPoint है. And he knows from
This-
there.
Ask him.
नहीं दादा
टेबल है
हाँ उस साइड भी पावर पॉइंट है.
Yeah, he's saying the PowerPoint is there. Not there.
It's only on this side.
उधर है नहीं राजीव.
ठीक है यहाँ पे
सभी कोई अपने अपने सामने देखे है पावर पॉइंट. आई हैव चेक्ड इट. मेरे पास वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग है.
So can you, Rajiv bhai, can you speak me and hear me?
हाँ मतलब वही ये कैप्चर नहीं हो रहा. ठीक है यू कंटिन्यू. नहीं है तो नहीं.
So as I said, 36 years of my career, both with Indian groups as well as multinationals, and the last 10 years was with Mahindra and Mahindra in Mumbai. So just shifted back to Gurgaon very recently after superannuation from there. I was a CFO and CIO, group CTO, so I was handling technology as well as finance area, and it's been quite a pleasure being with the family and kind of trying to contribute. But now I think the stage has come that we have to take our thoughts into action, and that is something which I am going to dwell upon the next 10 minutes. So basically, Rajiv Bhai asked me to talk about what could be the possible revenue generating ideas and specific ones. So I think most of us in the second innings of our life, we are engaged with some kind of consulting. So I think we can do consulting on behalf of XENA family, where particularly in the area of MSMEs, because see the large groups, whether it's Mahindra or Tata, and all, I mean they would go for the big four or the McKinseys and Bains of the world, but MSMEs, I mean they would like to leverage on the experience of people like us and with this in finance, finance strategy, marketing. In fact, I can provide the consulting, and I'm sure everyone else, operations, business, advisory. So there we can, have a kind of a thing where if XENA family can provide us the contact, we provide the kind of labor or the service. And we can have then a kind of a sharing formula where, a generous kind of amount can go to the XENA family. And maybe some kind of a token amount coming to us. And I'm sure everyone will kind of benefit from that. Another important area which I am currently engaged in as well is the mentoring area, particularly for startups. The startups are done by a lot of these youngsters and who are enthusiastic, but they lack an experience. So they want mentors to mentor them, and they are willing to pay. Of course, not a good amount because they are strapped for funds, but some kind of a token amount. So there also we can get associated through the XENA family, and whatever, because the amount anyway is, as I said, token amount that can be then contributed to the XENA family itself. Because I'm sure it will not pain the people to kind of this kind of a service voluntarily, and whatever that already amount comes goes to the XENA family. Another area which is counseling. I think some counseling is already happening, and I know there are some NGOs which are doing where some of these students and all need counseling, and at the same time they're senior people. In fact, more senior, one stage ahead of us, particularly in age, like above 70 kind of people who are lonely and but eager to contribute. They are eager to give their advice based on experience and also. So it will take care of their requirements also in terms of engaging with, because what they need is engagement. Therefore, it's not that they are kind of or some of them might have some kind of dementia or something, but 80-90% of them are totally like very healthy and active, but they don't know how to get the outlet to their ideas. So they can give the outlet to others who need it. It's the students or whether the startup enthusiasts, they can benefit tremendously, whether it's a council and family council. We are here, not only marriage council, the issues between playing, even before marriage, you're at a loss. And XENA family connect the two together. The benefit which is from youngsters who are really seeking it. The program where XENA family can work a lot is Ayush. This is an area where government is also taking a lot of initiative. This is an alternate kind of therapies. So Ayush, the full form is A for Ayurveda, then Yoga, Y, then U for Unani, S for Siddhi, which is kind of healing therapies, and H for homeopathy. So Ayush government has now made a ministry as well. And alternate medicine or alternate therapy is another.
You spoken on this on the webinar.
No, I might have given a small this thing, but not a full this thing. But what I'm saying, Ayush is one area which is government supported, and a lot of us have a connect with the government. Government will be willing to, the Ministry of Ayush, which comes under Mr. Sonowal, who is again the CM of Assam, they would be willing to kind of help us as well. And that can be a very big area in terms of alternate therapies to kind of, take up, because a lot of people, they are not interested now in taking the allopathy medicines and all, which have some side effects. So Ayush is again one big area where XENA family can be a revenue generating opportunity for the XENA family. And of course, the guest, I think some of us are associated with universities and colleges, and through their connect, if they can get a guest lecture for us. And normally some honorarium is paid to the guest lecture, which you can very happily share with. At least I can say I can share that with the XENA family. So whatever for a guest lecture, 5,000, 10,000, we can just share it with the family, and be glad. For us, it's an avenue to kind of share our ideas and get some more experience. The universities are of course willing to get people from industry who share from their industry experience, and of course XENA family also gets a process. So that's another idea which can be very quickly implemented. Then I think one idea I spoke with Sarita is about this medical tourism also, where we thought we can do something with the Vedanta and I don't know where we are, but I think medical tourism is one area where I think we can definitely do some work, get very big area too. And again, it can, we have contacts in the hospitals over here, so that's still part of the supply side. Demand side would be our chapters in say the US or Europe, where I think there is again a pressing need because the healthcare costs there are shooting through the roof. So people will be happy to connect, and whatever kind of a commission or that can be, again a revenue generation for these companies. So these are just some kind of thought starters. I'm not saying I've covered 100% of it, but I think we should start on some of them, which is some specific plan. I think last time we discussed, we were thinking that let's go to Vedanta and just kind of connect and start some of that, and maybe get the, and once we know, because see, first the supply source has to be kind of fixed. And once we know that the supply source is there, then we can get the customers from the Western countries through our Western chapters, and whatever commission or whatever comes, that can be a revenue for the XENA family.
They're excellent suggestions. If you don't have a work, 2-3 people working.
Yeah, exactly.
Say after retirement, I'm a trade specialist of the world, 40 years of my life. I've set up a chamber of commerce. Babu used to run around. I help lots of our colleagues to get this consultancy. It's called Millennial Chamber of Commerce.
Based out of Delhi.
Yeah, New Delhi office. But it does not work in trade. It just helps lots of our colleagues to get, say for example, GST. Here GST problem. I get like a couple of our colleagues taking you do a workshop, take the money, give 20% to the Millennial Chamber.
Or
Therefore, the work program must be announced.
that is the key.
Because what happens when we meet, we have terrific idea, lots of experience, Babu, lots of experience, but we have to focus.
Absolutely, you have put it right on the dot, right on the dot. That is what I said to Rajiv.
Africa is one place which is tremendous. I have a friend, but we like how, I mean,
50% of medical tourism of Africa is paid from the technical and professional program of external affairs ministry. 30% are paid by the African Development Bank and the countries like France, UK, which exploit them. Therefore, we have to sit down and see, go to the embassy, tell them, why don't you go through us?
So we make a specific plan. You are very, very right. I mean, unless we make a specific plan, maybe take just 2 ideas.
Yeah.
And take a specific plan, make a beginning, and then I think the first ones are the most difficult. As you know, and people who are, I'm associated now in my second innings with startups. So the first ones are the most difficult. And once you do that, you overcome that, then I think that momentum takes you
For
forward.
example, in the startup, it needs production and getting a loan. Where you get the fund? Export market. All of us have expertise. We can make a package, 3-4 us can help.
Yes.
And we tell them, give us 50,000 and give 20% to the family to build up the purpose.
Yes. So
Also, I've set up a lobbying organization which exports and imports projects, which means suppose you are a private sector, we arrange your loan. It's not me, because he arranges, he takes its 10%, 5%.
and contributes from there to.
Yeah, okay. Therefore,
But
like,
there are a lot of things happening in Zambia. You know, used to have foundation.
because of COVID, many countries do not have funds. Many do not use Chinese funds. Therefore, generating funds,
So they've had a very bad experience with China. So the right now is a hunger for Indian businessmen.
or
There we can again exploit, and we kind of being a facilitator, we get some kind of a commission.
building up a small body, good purpose is all I can.
Yes. So these are some of the ideas, and of course there is 10 companies, depending on where this particular project kind of fits in. You know, both domestic as well as visible. And in fact, most of them should be, I think, revenue generating. In fact, talking of the non-revenue generating also, I've been associated with some of the NGOs, but I said there also revenue generation is very important because you know NGOs cannot run without money.
The one you mentioned, for example, artisans. For example, you say textile production or handicraft production, that they have is a problem. And there are lots of ministries, skill development, all those.
Yeah.
We can help them by distributing funds and helping them export. That's the idea.
Yeah, but what I would suggest is that I think people, with all the key people are gathered here today, and if you can just kind of zero down on 2 or 3 ideas, you know, one like for example medical tourism, or you know any of this consulting assignment, or even a guest lecture. I mean, one can give a guest lecture, get a token amount, and maybe contribute the entire 100%. I would be willing to contribute the entire 100%. No, but whatever, and you know, small honorarium, we are not talking of a huge amount. And that honorarium goes to the XENA family. For us, it's an outlet of our kind of, you know, for what we are passionate about. So these are some of the things which can get us off the ground. So thanks for your time.
Wonderful, enlightening talk. But you must wait because his excellency from grassroots. Because what was not anything was speaking. That's his caliber. That's his caliber.
Action coming out.
at that time without showing that he's not right.
No, I just actually complimented my ideas.
So we now have a conference of suggestions, if you so now, based on observations and this interactive session will now be monitored, moderated by an excellency ambassador, Mr. Excellency Ambassador.
See, all these are fine. Whatever everybody said, that yes.
Salil bhai, laptop positioning.
Yeah, we have to get change.
It's not capturing well. I mean, you have to be slightly conscious. Whoever will be speaking, you just have to make the laptop face. That's all.
Each speaker has given us ideas which would help us. But first we have to decide 2-3 programs or projects to start with.
Yes.
Success of those projects will become models. We can follow them. Say, for example, it is talking about medical tourism. We have to look at 4-5 things where we can generate the people for treatment. Today, 60% of people who are coming to India, they are from Middle East, Africa, Afghanistan.
Yes.
Second, how do we reach those embassies? How do we talk to the agencies which are arranging that, tickets and the stay? For that, we have to identify the project, keep a team among us, and if required, like, say, for example, if you are giving your time, take somebody. You should not work free for anybody. We understand that. Issue is that this kind of project we must identify. Or like, say, for example, helping those affected small sectors, not medium, small sectors during COVID, generating income. And generating, we don't have to help them through our money. Each of the ministry has fund, whether it is skill development, whether it is entrepreneurship, whether it is Ministry of Industry, Women's Welfare, each of them have funds, earmarked. Basically, we have to read, some of us know the ministry. And we'll start with the activities, the family activity, and the fund which is coming, building a corpus for other things. Say for example, performing arts. Ministry of Culture and ICCR, they have done nothing during COVID to help the artist community. They are desperate. Many of the countries have India-specific festivals. Can we become their show legend? Send some of the artists from the rural areas, say Baul artists from West Bengal, whatever. There are lots of these ideas. We must, this meeting or next meeting, work out specifically 3-4 projects and give it time for 3-4 months. Once it is successful, each of the chapter will pick it up and will move.
Correct.
And now we request our special guests and all, pick their brain and continue the discussion.
Can I say something?
Yeah, please.
See, this is my first meeting.
Salil bhai, can you have to just pay it. Yeah. Whoever speaks, just shift the camera face.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Mr. Paul, our special guest, sir.
Yeah. My name is Ramesh God and 65 years old. I have an experience of almost 42 years in out of the 22 years as a professional and 20 years as an entrepreneur and startup specialist. I have been associated with various social causes for the last almost 30 years, and I will only give my opinion on this present set of meeting that has taken place. See, most of the organizations, or I would say these kind of groups, they are very successful if they focus on certain key factors. If you have different ideas come to you, different people, and there is no focus on any particular individual idea, then what happens is after some time, the focus gets lost. So first of all, the organization has to have an aim, and I'm happy to know that this organization has got a very good aim. And you must focus on 3 or 4 things which you rightly said. Test them, do a deep test, and then analyze the strength and weakness, and then go forward from there. First, most important of all is the revenue. And no organization will run without revenue. And I have had many organizations made some association, some
Your point is.
revenue.
Your point is money to get.
Yes, yes,
Since we have a very tight schedule.
yeah,
Then so much time,
yes, yes.
So to take out time for you, can you be more precise and brief?
I would say, first of all, that members should contribute.
So your first point is.
Yes, contribute. Yes.
Second point.
Second point is, out of all ideas that are discussed today, pick up 4 or 5 points
Exactly.
and then deliberate and work on it.
Exactly
Yes.
what is addressed in this.
I would second.
Yes, you cannot have a multi-famous mistake. You must have a focus. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm sorry that we couldn't give you more time.
No, it's okay. Maybe next time.
That was not participating. Now we have a very distinguished administrative officer, Mr. XENA. I'm sorry, I think of.
That is
He asked for
okay.
in short.
Okay.
No, he is for- we call it NCA.
Mr. Roy, when he was district magistrate and commissioner and a distinguished career, he set up also the Sani project, right, sir?
Now also is active.
Very active. I had a family friend in Somastipur, you were in Muzaffarpur.
Yeah.
And I had this family friend, a refugee family who had come in 1947. They were based in Somastipur. And between Muzaffarpur and Somastipur, they had a reach steel going opposite the railway station, Somastipur more not wanted. They so often speak that in Muzaffarpur there is one very fine DM, Mr. Siroi. Now, I am talking, so 9 plus 22, right? Almost 31 years back. I don't have a phenomenal memory like Sir Jivana, but I do have. Sir, your reputation as a very distinguished administrative officer, besides what you've done otherwise, even in those days, in a place where Lalu Raj also was there to work in such conditions, you're very distinguished career. And if you have the Friendship of Admiral, Ambassador Mr. Khatua, it means you are equally distinguished.
He always fought for causes and for
Yes.
anybody who matters, including the chief minister. Now, after his retirement, he does lots of social service work. That's why family can pick up lots from him.
So, I mean, there are so many tales and about your distinguished career I could share with you, like I could share about Dr. Sangeeta.
Just
Sangeeta, Dr. Sangeeta Babu, like this, but that for some other time. So maybe have your words of wisdom, your pearls of wisdom to guide us, take us further.
Thank you, Leonard Jaggi Saab, Honorable Jaggi Saab,
नहीं कुछ नहीं सर, मैं तो क्लास में
and excellencies,
दो लड़के थे
and my
सर,
friends.
सर दो लड़के थे जिनकी रोज पिटाई होती संजय गांधी और मेरी स्कूल में कम ऑफ बेस्ट स्कूल क्या सुनील शास्त्री को बोला था तो हमारी चक्कर में फंस जाता तो आई शुड बी द बैक टीचर हमें कुछ यू आर अ टैलेंटेड पीपल
No, actually, I am a very simple person
No,
because
you are very
I'm in a strict village. I call myself as in a strict village.
very lively
I have the courtesy, manners and other things which urban people have. When I want to do something, I do it. That's
you're a
all.
doer, you're a doer.
That is my aim and objective. I don't differentiate between aim and objective, because aim changes with every work, but the objective remains same. So
I have gone through the details which were provided by the group to me. I don't know much about the family, but whosoever does some good thing for the society is a good person. That is my philosophy. And His Excellency, Mr. Bhagwan, he is a great man, great person. So all of you must have measured his height. As a human being, he is a very, very lovely person. All of us in the batch, and above the batch and below the batch, we respect him like a philosopher. So I was given a particular subject of revenue direction. That is the main thing. He does the one single subject which is very dear to my heart. That is skill development. And I'm doing the work in skill development. I have talked to the secretary, and skill development also includes logistics. Mr. Amritlal Meena was he was Special Secretary Logistics, but he has transferred to my whole secretary. And then I tried to meet Shailesh Kumar. He is Special Secretary, he was Special Secretary MSN. So he has also been transferred to Rural. And I tried to meet the Secretary Rural Development in XENA. He has been transferred as Secretary Steel. But all these officers, they are junior officers of Bihar and Jharkhand. So I tried to do something for my village. I actually forgot to bring a handbook which I have prepared for the sarpanches. That is the grassroots. I am talking about the grassroots. So, sir, for the sarpanches, for the panchayat ward members, and for the panchayat secretariat officers, I have prepared 108 page handbook. How to go about it, how to implement the panchayat project, and how to help the people who are in need, because COVID is the recent incident. But poverty is not the recent incident. Poverty is perpetual. So that I have prepared. I'll send the soft copy to the group. So skill development, then logistics. Logistics is also a part of skill development. Logistics has enough scope in the country. For example, in Patali village, in the colleagues of Adani having a big park, logistic park, more than 100 acres of land, and thousands of people are working there. So I had requested NASA to get our group introduced to Adani. He said, so I requested him to introduce us to Adani's son, and we could make use of this Patali park. So that was, I'm talking about the bike. This is simply an extension of that activity which I am doing in my village. The Jena family is a small group, but this can be a big group, because you have approach your connections with the high people, with the high society group, and with the company, corporate. So you can do something else, which we are not doing, which we are not capable of doing it. So my first point is that we should have a few sections, as you mentioned, and Masati mentioned, that this medical tourism. So have one subject for it, this medical thing. So I know this Ajit Sharma, I secretary. So we can talk to him. He can introduce us to the ministry, and we can identify the officer there. And we not an officer for this. That is one second. Number two, I can request Amritla here to give the name of one officer in logistics who can be our nodal officer for the JNF. Then the skill development, I'm trying to meet Mr. Rane. He is the Minister of Skill Development. No, Rane is the Minister of MSM. So I'm going to meet him for MSME. The MSME was discussed here, and this is a very, very important subject for the country. The entire country is facing unemployment. This situation of unemployment is only due to the failure of MSMEs in the country due to COVID. So we can take up next point as MSME. And third, skill. 3 point, can zero down. Form a small group or identify the members who are interested in. Start doing work. We can exchange notes. We can talk to the ministry, and then we can do something for the society. And revenue generation is a part of the byproduct of the sector. So revenue generation will be there. For example, MSME. So I am an advisor to the Tata Nexa. So advising the MSMEs online. So they give money to the advisor. So similarly,
Sharad Kohli also
that
is Sharad Kohli also part of this? Sharad Kohli?
I think is. So that is a long process to select the advisor. Tata took about 3 years to select the advisors. So similarly, for MSME, you can have a small window in Jena family where you can advise the MSME who are in problem, whose business is facing some bad days. So then you can advise them, they will give money. They are ready to give money. They can also appoint you as advisor, regular payment for regular activities. So that is one. Skill development is, I just got when I was coming from this place, I got a message from Steve. So he is doing, he is our batchmate in IPS Maharashtra. So he says that we are also doing something, skill development, to train the trainers. So that we can discuss with them, and then we can do this, train the trainers after discussing the history of the skill development. There, Mr. Tiwari is there, Agarwal, he used to be in touch with you. So that is second. Logistics. I don't know whether any person here is conversant about activities of logistics.
Quite a have interested in this.
So logistics is the third. This is
If so, most likely he has to leave, so it's quarter past 2.
no, this is my suggestion. 3 items. So you can go ahead after discussing these things in detail, because these are not to be discussed here in short time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sway. Very succinct and lucid and precise. Thank you very much. We now have the benefit of being addressed by Mr. S.P. Singh, Single Delivery Officer, who is currently a senior advisor in the Committee of International Taxation Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. For 9 years, I was expert examiner of Institute of Chartered Accountant, 3 years expert examiner. He is superannuated as a senior director at the Delhi office of Delhi Haskins and served LLB in 2019. For a tax litigation before joining you on the Indian Revenue Service for more than 2 decades. May we have your wisdom, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Baxi. And I was initiated in this by Amrendra, who is my friend for more than 40 years. So it's always a privilege knowing him and interacting with him. I am really in awe by the achievements and enthusiasm of the people here. The span of interest, the activities in which all of you are involved is simply, there can be only superlative words to describe it. I really honor, I really pay respect to all of you. I'm not in the same league as you because I have been a bureaucrat, I have been advisor, but not a social worker. I have not been involved with any NGO or any organization. But the one thing is there, I have the passion. And wherever I get involved, I try to do the best possible within my intelligence, my physical abilities. And so far as physical abilities are concerned, the only thing I can say is that I do run half marathon very regularly. So I am there, whatever advice, whatever work the organization wants from me, I am there. And once I get into this, I will have ideas which I will be able to share. Since I don't have the background, it will not be fair on my part to come out and give any suggestion in respect of the items which I will do it. Maybe the next one. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your very fair. Mr. Dinesh Verma, IRS, former chairman, Income Tax Settlement Commission, Principal Chief Commissioner, Karnataka and Goa, and recipient of one of the highest awards, French awards. We are blessed that you'll be here with us to give us awards of this year.
Thank you. Since we are almost going towards the end of the session, I will try to be very brief. So what I'm saying, this is my first.
I again apologize for the faux pas because.
No, not at all. Because that I don't think is a faux pas. I don't. These are small, minor things. So this is my first interaction with the XENA group, and I'm really impressed by the noble intentions. They are really commendable, and they have a superb set of people with, superb long experience in their own fields, and very well, all of them are very resourceful people who can help an organization like XENA in reaching its ambitions. As Mr. S.P. Singh said, I personally have no experience in social working, but I have watched a lot of organizations involved in social activities because my very first posting in the department was in the trust circle. And after that, I have been DI exemption, which again deals with all the charitable organizations. And for 5 years in the board, I dealt with the policy relating to all kind of charitable organizations in the country. So whatever little I have seen from their, performances, their way of functioning is that, first of all, all of them have very specific goals. What are the objectives? We have talked about revenue generation, etc. But first is that, any organization which is going for empowerment of people or anything, it has to identify XYZ area that where they will be doing this work. And then they have to come, to the how to generate revenue for that. Most of these organizations normally tap donations. And in the tax laws, there are a lot of exemptions for that, a lot of incentives. So that is one, I think that is the one major contribution to their revenue. And that, of course, there are some constraints because you have to utilize that money every year according to the law. Very strict conditions are laid out there. Second is that they also sometimes have business. It is allowed in the law for a charitable organization to have a business activity as long as the money generated is flowed back into the charitable activities. So for that, many ideas have come today. We can always tap on them. So I would suggest that, every vertical, we have, covered a lot of goal. We have made 8 or 9 verticals, which are already incorporated kind of bodies. So let them, each body have 2 or 3 specific areas of work. And then we come to, for that, you have a kind of an annual report of activities that this has been achieved. So when you approach a donor, you can tell him that this is the activity we are doing, this much we have done. So that is a way of generating confidence with the donor also. So that can be, I think, a very good source. And with our connections and resources, we can
Perhaps everybody can help in generating some kind of revenue by way of donations also, which is a two-way process, because the donor also gets 50% deduction from their income tax. So these are some of my suggestions first time. Next time I'll try to come out with something more. So I'm there. I mean, whatever is said, whatever I can do, I'm very willing to do that for the organization. Thank you. Thank you very much. Mrs. Bhavna Bhatia. If that manner asking the lady to speak less.
Yeah, I will speak this.
No, no.
On my right. I've been in Kerala, the world school. So recently I left my job. Now I'm there to continue whatever best I can do for this Zena family. That's about it. I have nothing to do with like I'm not being connected to any social the now, but in future I will be willing to. Thank you.
All of them to be very
I've been speaking all my life, that's
Yashar, you be family, you one of the earliest members of the. So he asked you to speak last, but any four manners of bad manners from our side, right? I mean, since you're the last speaker, you can part of them. So let's have something exceptional for me.
Sally, shift the laptop.
I'll
Because it is not at all covering the audio, and definitely it will not cover the video.
और खुदा ने मुझे रखा है मेरे जरिए से और आप सबको मिला है हम सब किसी वजह से हैं फॉरवर्ड किया है ऑलरेडी हम लोगों ने अपनी जॉब्स करी है जहां भी रहे हैं अच्छा काम किया है और एप्रिशिएट हुआ है वर्ल्ड में स्टेट में और अपनी कंट्री में पर अभी हम एक संस्था के बीच में हैं और यहाँ पे हम कुछ अच्छा करना चाहते हैं सोसाइटी को कुछ देना चाहते हैं We are here to give something good to society. और मैं सबका सुना बहुत अच्छा लगा किसी भी लाइन में पर फिर भी सब कुछ समझ के प्रोग्राम एक इवेंट चैरिटेबल इवेंट प्ले करना चाहती हूँ शॉर्ट एंड स्वीट मतलब मैं अपनी बात को रखना चाहती हूँ ये ब्लाइंड लोगों के साथ है और इसमें ये चैरिटेबल प्रोग्राम मैं चाहती हूँ सेना की तरफ से किया जाए और आपको अगर इसमें इंटरेस्ट देंगे तो बहुत अच्छा इवेंट हो सकता है जिसमें कि हम फंड रेजिंग भी कर सकते हैं और ब्लाइंड्स को जो बैंड होगा वो भी ब्लाइंड्स का ही है सारे आर्टिस्ट ब्लाइंड के हैं ब्लाइंड्स के और इसके लिए मैं अपनी तरफ से जो है वो हॉल प्रोवाइड करूंगी दिल्ली में और बाकी जो है हम सब मिलकर यस YWCA है अपने बारे में भी छोटा सा कह दूं मैं मैंने सोचा लाइक दिस तो वो मल्टीटास्क है और अभी इसकी जो हूँ मैं माइनॉरिटी कमीशन में हूँ ग्लोबल आई वर्ल्ड वाइड मीडिया जो हूँ मैं डेली ब्यूरो चीफ हूँ डिजिटल मीडिया देखती हूँ और बहुत से ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के बीच में हूँ और YWCA का वर्किंग वुमेन हॉस्टल्स के चेयरपर्सन हूँ और उसमें बहुत अच्छी लेडीज के साथ काम करने का मौका मिल रहा है बातचीत करने का उनके साथ अपने व्यूज हम लोग शेयर करते हैं तो अब सबका मेन मकसद यही होता है कि हम सोसाइटी के लिए क्या सच इसीलिए आप लोग भी यहाँ हैं अपना अपना काम हम सब ने किया है अपनी जगह बैठ बट सोसाइटी के लिए कुछ देने हैं ये कुछ हम करें तो यही मैं सोचती हूँ कि एक छोटी सी शुरुआत अगर हम करें तो ब्लाइंड का बैंक है तो मैं उसके साथ एसोसिएट करती हूँ तो हम प्रोग्राम रख सकते हैं उसमें फंड रेजिंग रहेगा और उसका जो भी फंड आएगा उस फंड को हम ब्लाइंड संस्था को ही हम जो ब्लाइंड संस्था है उसी को डोनेट करेंगे और उस चैरिटी के लिए रखेंगे जो ज़ेना की तरफ से होगा क्योंकि हमारे पास फंड नहीं और एक अच्छा कॉज होगा ये इसमें किसी के पास ऐसा तो कुछ नहीं कि किसी के ऊपर कोई लेबर हम सब इस लायक है कि छोटा छोटा कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन अगर हम करेंगे तो हम इस प्रोग्राम को कर पाएंगे, बहुत इजीली कर सकते हैं। और मैं अपनी तरफ से हॉल प्रोवाइड करूंगी और जो उससे होगा वो मैं करूंगी। और इसमें सिंपल हॉल के अंदर कैपेसिटी होगी, जो YWCA का हॉल है 250 के आसपास कैपेसिटी है। तो अगर हम 100 चेयर्स भी जो है उसको हम
रिसर्च ये सब भूल जाएंगे। मैं लास्ट टाइम भी आपको बोला था, आप प्लीज मीटिंग देते, मैं अभी हल कर देता।
मैंने बिल्कुल बना रखा है सर, मैं लेआउट कर दूंगी आप सबको, बट आई एम जस्ट शेयरिंग।
वही है ना, अभी जो है कंक्रीट पॉइंट है, तो ठीक है, ये प्रोजेक्ट के स्पेसिफिक दे देंगे सबको, एवरीबॉडी का।
यस, तो दिस इज द थिंग आई वांट टू शेयर विद पीपल। जैसे सबने देखा और बात करी थी, बस मैं ये कहना चाहती हूँ, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
पावर हाउस ऑफ एक्शन नोमन।
We now have distinguished projects engineer, IIM, diploma, Bachelor of Law, Master of Law, Master of Law. Worldly wise, and a go-getter. A go-getter. Let's have your summarizing the
Extreme apologies. But it was really lot of ये हमें इसको एक्शन में लाना है। एक्शन में
एक तो आगे how long are you?
यूज करना चाहिए आप लोगों को।
बहुत सारी मैच हुई।
आप लोग सबसे मुश्किल होती है। इसी में बहुत लोगों से चीज क्या
So there's the explanation here. Problem not like maybe that.
Thank you so much for all your.
The school I come from, see, my father was very and I was not, but I was taken. I could have been punished the same way. I'm not punished. The next morning, I asked the principal, I didn't punish me today, to go tomorrow. Next morning, my father's car comes. And what happens? Car comes inside, the entire school is lying on junior school and the CS. I'm taken by Mr. Samuel to the office and he copied by Mr. Nagar. I'm taken to the field. My father could have looked and nodded at the principal for the water. I may have escaped the punishment. My father never nodded. I was detained 6 years, 6 years, and 6 years. 18 kids. I still remember the PT I did, Mr. Philip, Mr. Hooker, Mr. Doctor. Maybe 67, 68. So when I stood up for this gentleman, that was part of that training. I'm addressing this to you especially during the course of the day. You understand? I'm sending you a message. I'm sending you a message. If you are part of the XENA family, we have to conduct ourselves with the utmost dignity, distinction, propriety, ethics. No. Yes, you things have to come. You did. But anyway, that's the part. You would run me up for something. No, you would run me up sometime back. Yeah. So this message is for you. Shakespearean language, talking in language. Anyway, please go ahead.
Definitely startling.
Not startling.
In introduction, also because I am not a master in law, I am not a doctor in law.
Even though I finished bachelor's in law, I took 5 years to finish that. And I hate to come between, you and the lunchtime, and also between you and the thank you time. So I'll take, I've been asked to, quickly summarize this. So I'm not going to, because summary is one thing that we all have been, paying attention to. So what I'll do here is, 3 or 4 people, who have been attending for the very first time. What I want to do is to reiterate, certain aspects, of whatever we discussed today, so that those become the key takeaways, of today. When Mr. Jaggi sir and Musaddi sir, they have been involved. Musaddi sir, even though he was involved with 7 years involved with XENA family only for the last 1 year, it feels, as though he has been involved for the last 6 years. And Jaggi sir has been involved right from the beginning. I attended the very first meeting with him, at a different venue. And from that day onwards, he has been providing, what he himself, for a human service, and he said that, without, in his opening remarks, that without such service by each one of us, XENA family would not have been possible. And while we mentioned Rajiv quite a few times, Rajiv would be the first person to say that there is no founder and no leader in XENA family. And to create, such a flat structure, sometimes, comes with, its own problems. So, but, as we move along, I'm sure the certain systems and processes, are going to evolve. Then, Ambassador Amarendra Khatua, every time, I've heard him, he has talked about concrete contributions. And this is one key takeaway, for today. Even after the last meeting, I had, sent messages, across to the right people, and asked them to, put certain things down on paper and take certain actions. Something, and I'm complaining here, just as Mr. Jaggi was complaining about something and I never heard with it, during lunchtime regarding that. Because I try to be, very, very critical, particularly when I'm dealing with the likes of but then, today itself, Ambassador Khatua mentioned 3 times, that we should now, start working on projects, and that is exactly what, Mr. Vishnu Patil also said, when he was delineating the vision for the future, that it's time now for rubber to meet the road. We have been, on the drawing board, and we have been, trying to move the chess pieces for quite some time, and now it's time, that we get into action. Salil gave very good introduction indeed, and I'm not going to go over all the various points that you mentioned, but one thing that always struck me, was the kind of the portfolio of entities that XENA has created, and the gesture, the sum is always greater than the parts, and we see that there is an international dimension to so many of those entities, there's an Indian dimension to so many of those entities. For instance, he works with the Indian side of revenue generating activities, and particularly those, who are senior IRS officers here. And one of them, I think, has worked with the SME sector a lot, and worked with Deloitte Consulting a lot, and Deloitte Consulting is a firm that I worked for the longest time. I was on a directorship track in the US with Deloitte Consulting. And I actually spearheaded an SME related vertical. Even though their definition of SME is entirely different, and they are the SMEs, far larger than the SMEs in India. But one thing, the people were pretty concerned about, or initially concerned about, was that anything, related to compliance and ethics, the very first thing, that XENA is going to win and ensure, that nothing, absolutely nothing, goes here. And sometimes even the most well-intentioned enterprises, might end up, on the wrong side of the law. And that is something that we should not want to do. So that is one, key takeaway. Also, this portfolio of entities, coupled with the kind of values that XENA family cherishes, allows each one of us to contribute uniquely, in our own way, and to the degree to which we are comfortable, in contributing. Ambassador Sangeeta Bahadur, talked about various ways in which family members, can be taken care of, and how even our hobbies and special interests, can be taught. But it's even though it is about altruism, and Mr. Vishnu Thakur did mention at some point in time, about collecting fees, and at other points in time we talked about fundraising, and while we have considered those, we have consciously tried to also steer clear of these two ways of raising funds, and we want our model to be sustainable, and that is why there are revenue generating activities, which we want, as a part of a portfolio to fund our non-profit activities. Even though we have a non-profit, objective, that is far more closer to most of us. Then, though I have taken, a few more notes, but I think at this stage, most of them were pretty decent discussions. I don't think these big points, going for that. And I don't understand the things you people at that time. So thank you so much. Thank you very much.
I think school की घंटी बज गई है, फटाफट बंद करिए ना तो खाना बंद हो जाएगा, खाना नहीं मिलेगा।
Last.
On behalf of XENA family, I extend a really hearty and soulful word of thanks to our attendees who spared time on a Thursday afternoon to grace the occasion. Today we had an opportunity to hear about your thoughts, and this will surely be going to encourage us in our future events. Till we meet again, wishing all of us a very happy bonding. And before we leave, I would like to give you a memento before thank you note. Please be seated.
Salil bhai, you have to slightly shift.
आपने सबका फोटो लीजिए, आपने सबका फोटो लीजिए अटेंडेंस
Salil bhai, your laptop is facing just a blank space. Salil bhai, can you move around your laptop? It's facing the blank television.
Sanity, please.